Peace. Tasha, the video right here, one of correct teachings of which Angel Ramirez, Angel Ramirez, I guess he's a YouTuber and he mostly talk about women issues, but I guess, his subscribers put a battery in his back to tackle Aborigines or African Americans ain't happening. Now, in his video, he made a bunch of different, outlandish statements. If you reading material, or you just reading straight through, yeah, you might can find some of these things, but a lot of things he said is very inconsistency. I'm just going, like I said, I'm using the fair use, criticism, reporting, and teaching. I'm going to play a little bit of his video. Alright, just to let you know what he said, and I'm just going to just clear it up with evidence.
America. But before I get into that, some people believe that black people were in the Americas before anyone else and are the true first inhabitants. But the question has to be, how did they get here and where did they come from? We're aware that human life started in Africa. Black people migrated out of Africa as Homo sapiens thousands of years after the Neanderthals, who left Africa prior. However, the point where the out of Africa theory becomes incorrect is the theory that black Africans lost melanin and their features changed based on climate and food as they discovered new lands, implying that white people are merely albino Africans. We know this to be false, because Caucasians were created by Homo sapiens breeding with Neanderthals in the Caucasus regions outside of Africa, thus creating a hybrid which would eventually be known as Neanderthal DNA. If you want more details on the out of Africa theory and the creation of Caucasians, there's also a video in the description called How the Caucasian Race Was Created. So check it out. So long story short, based on common sense, anthropology, and history, if black people were in Americas first, then of course the Native Americans had to have traveled from Africa, which is taught by many scholars. Therefore, if you believe that you are a Native American or an Aboriginal American, aka a black American, then you are in fact African, because you came from Africa. Seems so simple and basic, right? But there are some people that don't believe in the out of Africa theory at all, not one iota, and they believe we didn't migrate from Africa to the Americas, but instead, we were already here. This is highly incorrect, as there is no evidence to corroborate this. All black life, this is highly incorrect, as there is no evidence to, but instead, we were already here. This is highly incorrect, as there is no evidence to corroborate iota, and they believe we didn't migrate from Africa to the Americas, but instead, we were already here. This is highly incorrect, as there is no evidence to corroborate this. All black life definitely started in Africa. We were the first humans, and we created all varying degrees of mankind. We traveled the globe first and inhabited many places. For example, you have Papua New Guineans who look just like African people or black people, same features, same type of woolly hair, but they're indigenous to Papua New Guinea. And they're not African, right? Wrong. They also migrated out of Africa thousands.
See, look, man, he just said himself that they're indigenous to Papua New Guinea, but yet he's still saying that they migrated. Okay, this migration pattern is some pseudo information, right? Because, like I said, man, I know a lot of people don't like to use Michael Cremore forbidden archaeology, but people need to read it because it's going to tell you how they found a skeleton in Illinois here in Americas, and he said it dates back to 300 million years old. And right next to the body, they found a gold chain. I guess it was a coal, and I guess somehow they discovered, they said it was a 10-inch gold chain next to a skeleton body, it was in Illinois. You check that out. I got a video on that, Michael Cremore forbidden archaeology. But check this out. I'm gonna keep letting them rock on what he said.
Hundreds of years ago. Now let's discuss the Native Americans as the commonly depicted Native Americans throughout history, the ones with red skin, being in the Americas as the first inhabitants and how they got to the Americas. Anthropology states that two main groups of what we now call the Native Americans traveled out of Asia 23,000 years ago. They believe the groups splintered off from an East Asian population. The group from Northeast Asia crossed the Bering Land Bridge, known as the Bering Strait, between Northeast Asia and Alaska, eventually making their way to the rest of the Americas. They also state that 10,000 years later, or about 13,000 years ago, Native Americans started to split into different groups, creating different tribes across North and South America. However, anthropologists divided the migration groups into two. One is the first Americans, being Northeast Asian, and another they identify as Population Y, which carried ancestry more closely related to indigenous Australians. That's your aboriginals with dark skin and straight to wavy hair from Australia. This explains why some Native Americans are shown in images with very dark skin and straight hair. These are descendants of the Australian aboriginals. These aboriginals would have also been victims of slavery. So if you believe that you are an American aboriginal or descendant, you're implying that you are a descendant of the Australian aboriginals who migrated into the Americas along with the Northeast Asians, who had
briefly referred to the original native people of the area before arriving or invading colonizing people from elsewhere. It derived from the Latin word aboriginal. Alright, so now as you go down right here, boom, 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 it said the first known English usage of the word aborigine was in the mid-1500s. Interestingly, the plural from aborigines appeared in the singular form aborigine. Alright, so boom, so here we go. By the 1600s, the word aborigine or aboriginal was first used in the English language to describe the first inhabitants of a place. It was also sometimes used more generally to include living things. All right, now you say aboriginal plants, aboriginal. All right, it say by the 1800s, however, these words was firmly established to describe, established as descriptions for the original native people of Australia. Okay, now it tells you right here that the word aborigine wasn't applied to the people in Australia until the 1800s. It said in the 1600s. Where was the English at in the 1600s? In the Americas. Okay, now we got another book right here, another source right here. All right, check this out. This is, let me see. All right, this is the Aboriginal Races by Samuel Morton. And yes, he was a racist, but he did keep it real in the book. All right, it say the distinctive characteristics of the Aboriginal race of America by Samuel Morton. All right, so now I'm gonna skim down to page 5. Here we go right here. It say these facts, however, are mere exceptions to the general rule. It say and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indians. It say which as hold up. Oh, all right, okay, all right, there you go, right there. I'm sorry, let me read it. I wanted to make sure I was reading it right there. All right, so it say these facts, however, are mere exceptions to the general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian. Say which as undeviatingly characteristics as that of the Negro. For whether we see him in his athletic cherubim, it say or stunted chama. I guess that's chama. It say in the dark California. All right, so it say he is still an Indian. It say cannot be mistaken for any other race. All right, now this is Samuel. Well, now you can read through this. He make numerous. Also, I'm gonna be showing you something else, right? I'm gonna be showing you something that people probably never seen before. That you want to hear first, probably on the time one. Alright, now he makes a connection to Peru right here, right? He makes a connection to Peru, and he's saying the same characteristics. If you read this, he's saying the same characteristics of the people was found in Peru and Chile. Alright, so now it mentions Peru right here, and you just really have to read through this. I got so much I gotta show. I really don't want to run through that. All right, so now he claimed that the only reason that and let me just put this out there too. All right, so it's obviously that we're making a distinction between Aboriginal Australians and what we call black people that was already in America. Okay, I guess we're making a distinction because he's saying because our hair is coiled and our hair is more our hair is coiled and their hair is straight, then we're not the same thing. And he's saying that because you see them images of them Indians that people be showing. That's why I don't like to show them pictures. That's why I do not like to show them pictures. None of them motherfuckers look like us. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them do, but the majority of them don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pictures, a lot of black Indian pictures that is us, and they got straight hair, but their hair got bare fat. Okay, now understand, some of these motherfuckers do got straight hair, but that was the amalgamation. Also, you have to understand that Europeans mixed with the Aborigines here, as well as after 1830s, the people that went to Oklahoma with the Trail of Tears, they started intermingling with the Mongoloids. So a lot of them, meanwhile, our people were still in the South. A lot of our people did not go on that trip to Oklahoma. And we just say, you know what, we just want to pass this oral tradition on that we're Indians or whatever. So he said basically that there was two migrations of people here. First it was the Mongoloids. Second it was the Australians, right? Now check this out. Now, understand something, right? This is going to say something, but let me just put this out there, right? I said, prevailing ideas point to all Native American descended from ancient Siberians who moved across the Barren Land Bridge, say between Asia and North America between 26,000 and 18,000 years ago. At this time, I know it's at a time on the thinking goes, these people spread southward, all right? It said gave rise to Native American population and encountered by European settlers centuries. Now he said encountered by European settlers centuries ago, right? Now remember, the Europeans came in Virginia. So the people in Virginia would have had to look like the people that, like the Mongoloids, which I already proved this already. I already proved this. We already know. Most of us already know, right? But I just want to prove something. Right now, I already read this before, but as you go down right here, right? Now look. All right. Now I say again, like I'm probably for the 50th time showing you this article, they say, but there lies in, and this is Smithsonian Institute, they say, but there lies a puzzle. Modern Native Americans closely resemble the people of China, Korea, and Japan, but the oldest skeletons do not, says archaeologist and paleontologist James Chatter. All right, so now James Chatter is an archaeologist and a paleontologist. So now that's the source. Boom. So now he said, the small number of early American specimens discovered so far have smaller and shorter faces and longer and narrower skulls than later Native Americans. So he's making a distinction stating that these people that he's saying that have the longer and narrower skulls, he's saying they are different than later Native Americans, as he just described. Modern Native Americans resemble the people from Asia. All right. So boom, we say more closely resembling modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Islands. All right. Now the problem is this: if somebody see this, they're gonna say, all right, he's basically saying Australian right there, right? But the thing is this, right? None of us look like Australians. Australians got a very distinct look with them. Okay, they have a very distinct look. Don't get mulattoes and people that was mistaken for fucking Australians. Okay, so now he's saying he's an anthropologist, but he's saying they closely resemble the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Islands. Now check this out. He's not saying they're African. He's not saying that they're Australian. He's not saying they're South Pacific Islands. He's saying that if he had to describe them according to somebody, they look like the people of them different countries. Okay? Now I say this has led speculations that the first Americans, okay? Now I say the first Americans and Native Americans came at different times. They keep using that word native. Because native means one born in a particular place. Aborigine means first inhabitant or a tanchan. I mean, no pun intended. A tanchanist. A tanchanist means one sprung from the soil he or she inhabits. So now look, this right here alone, right here, right? This skull right here was found in Mexico, right? This is Naya. This was found 12,000 years ago, right? Check this out. Look. This was found 12,000 years ago, right? So now look, Angel, what he's saying is the only reason why you see black people here because of the Olmecs. So he's saying because of the Olmecs came here, the Olmec civilization is only, let me see, I got it right here. Got some notes with me. The Olmec civilization started in 12,000 BC. Okay, so I guess if you want to do the math for 12,000 BC, 12,000 would eventually come all the way down to 1. And then it would start back up 1, 2, 3, and then it would go all the way back up until where we at now, 2018. So 12,000 plus 2018, that's 3,200 years. I mean, 3218. All right. So that's 3,200, years. Or we want to say 32 centuries. Cause each century is 100 years. So you can say that's 32 centuries ago. All right. So now look, that's 32 centuries ago. The oldest pyramid in Brazil is 5,000 years old. So all of this stuff out dates the Olmecs. Also, what he said was the Olmecs brought civilization to the Americas. I'm about to smash that, and I'm gonna smash the Kemet shit all in one article. Okay? Well, no, 3 articles because I got 3 different sources up there. All right, but check that out, right? So now look. Check this out. Check this shit out right here. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. Alright? Now I say ancient origins, right? Boom. Check this out. Let's move it a little slow, y'all. Just bear with me. This is a banger right here. Alright? So it says 5,000-year-old pyramid city of Corral. Boom. All right. So it is widely taught in the field of ancient history that Mesopotamia. Now remember, Mesopotamia go back to 31,000 BC. Some people say 32,000. Some people say I even seen 35,000. Okay, so 35,000 plus 2018. So that'd be like 30. That would be 35,000 plus 2018. That would be 5,518. All right, so that'd be 5,500 years ago, 55 centuries ago. All right, so Mesopotamia, we know that was Sumerians, the Syrians, and the Babylonians. All right, so we know. Now check this out. All right, so it say Egypt, China, and India gave rise to the first civilizations of mankind. However, few are aware that at the same time and in the same case before some of these societies emerged, another great civilization has sprouted. I guess it's how you pronounce it. No Chico civilization, Supe Peru. It said the first known civilization of the Americas. It said their capital was the sacred city of Peru. It said a 5,000-year-old metropolis. It's complete with a complex agriculture practice, rich culture, and monumental architecture. It said included 6 large pyramid structures. It say stone earthen platforms, mounds, temples. I guess that's damn if I can't pronounce that shit right there. But you guys get it, man. You see it. Now check this out too, right? Now, I was showing this. Let me see. This article. All right, it's this one right here. I was showing this to Chief Howard. And Mesopotamia is, the Sumerian is said to be before Egypt. All right, now this one is another article right here. All right, so now look, these are just brief articles that people read and on, but if you look it up, you'll find the research for it. Okay, you'll definitely find the research for it. All right, so now I say Peruvian pyramids older than Egypt, civilization rivals Sumerian. They say an age of 12,000 years without a war. So they said they wasn't even warring in Peru. All right. So now look, they say the lost pyramids of Cairo, they say, are older than suspected. Construction began 3000 BC. I say three to 400 years before the people of Kemet. They say Egypt began the pyramids of Djoser. Now Djoser pyramids, let me see, I got that right here. That Djoser pyramids date back to 2667. All right, so that's 2667. They're telling you this is 3000 BC. So that's like 400 years before the pyramids in Egypt was even built. Right? They say these cities flourished peacefully for more than 1200 years. Something very different from all other civilizations is that the people live without fear and peace. No traces of warfare have been found. Now check this out. Now look at this. They say findings confirm that Peru is the oldest civilization in America and one of the 4 oldest high culture of the world, according to historian Victor Colan Omino, I guess I can pronounce it. They say, as we can see in the table below. All right, so these are the ancient civilizations according to what they say. Mesopotamia, which is Samaria, Peru. Okay, Peru is before Egypt. Wow. Now, these numbers want to change. You know, some of them say 32. Some of them say it was maybe 400 years or whatever. But it's some people at least thinks that the pyramids in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt. Okay, and it's not just one article. There's many of them I found. This one right here just gave me a chart that I can use or at least point an idea. You have to do your own research from here. But they're saying that the pyramids in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt. Now, he said that the only reason we have civilization because the Olmecs brought civilization here. But these people outdate the Olmec. Look, Mexico, 1200 BC. All right, so this is almost 2,000 years before the Olmecs even came here. Okay, now look, check this out. And understand this too, right? Naya, that article we read was in 12,000 years ago. That was way before any Olmecs came in. And they saying that was a Negro. Okay? They saying that was a Negro. Yeah, they did use, but check this out. We ain't even gotta go there. We can go right here. Let me see something. We go right here. We can go to Brazil. We go right here. We ain't gotta even, if you don't even want to use the Smithsonian, but the Smithsonian Institute give you a template of what they believe the people looked like, or what did they resemble. Okay, now, these are Africans, Australians, and South Pacific Islanders. Now, we already said South Pacific Islanders, they already look like what we, I guess, consider to be Africans. Okay? But,
hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to show you my awesome new Wix website. It's got everything I love all in one place. Let me show you guys how I did it.
See, another anthropologist
has all the features you associate with the Negro class. The proportions of that to me is a Negro dress. It has all the features you associate with the Negro dress. That to me is a Negro dress.
That's Lucy.
It has all the features.
Okay, that's Lucy. That's Dr. Richard Meade, and he is the one who found Lucy. Lucy don't look nothing like no motherfucking Australian. She don't look nothing like an Australian. Okay, now that's way before.
Was this then?
Now look, that's way before any Olmecs came. Okay, now we just proved. Now look, we just proved that Peru is older. Now it's saying the discovery civilization of agriculture. It's saying that agriculture go back to 8,000 BC. It says 8,000 BC. It's saying at the same time the Mesopotamia. Okay, it said 8,000 BC. All right, now it got Mexico all the way on the bottom, which I don't believe that, because I know if Peru had a thriving economy or they had thriving civilization, that the Mexicans had similar civilization. All right. So now I say pyramid old country. It say reframing the extraordinary antiquity of Peruvian civilization. The radiocarbon dates of the last 30 years have shown that Peru has the world's oldest pyramids, as shown in the following table. Okay. Now look. First one is idols. This is Delos Arca, Peru. All right. This is another Peru. So it go all the way up. Right here, look. And then Egypt right here, see? I believe 26. Yeah, 20. This one 2600. I believe this might be the one in Dozer. I guess that's how you pronounce it. That's the pyramid that was the first pyramid that was made of the temple. All right, so that was the one in Egypt. All right, but look, as you see, they tell you that the first 7 pyramids was built way before any pyramids was built in China. All right, so now we buried that, right? Also, I want to bury this too while we at this, right? We're gonna deal with this word Africa. All right, let's deal with this word Africa while we're moving. Since we already found out the pyramids in America is the oldest pyramid. All right, since everybody been running around here talking about Kemet all these years, but the pyramids in Peru is the oldest pyramid. And then also, hold up. These are the pyramids. Let me just show y'all the pyramids so you'll see. This one right here. This is one of them. This is it right here. Alright, now, they're giving you a different date right there, but like I said, the date's going to vary. This is one of the pyramids. This is the pyramids of the sky, or I forgot if that's the name of it. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. There you go right there. This is the other Peruvian structure. Alright, so now look. Just trying to find something. Oh yeah, just to put this one out there, just to have another source, just so you'll know. Nah, this ain't. I'm sorry about that, y'all. This ain't. Alright, boom, right here. Now, if you want to know what the bodies looked like inside the pyramids, here you go right here. Alright, now look. Now look, the pyramids is the oldest pyramids, and all they found in there was dreadlocks. Look. You see this Peru. Now, they didn't find these in the coral pyramids. They found this in the pyramids I just showed you. These right here. These pyramids. They found the mummies with the dreads in these pyramids. Now, you can sit here and tell me everybody wear dreadlocks and all this other goofy shit. These is Negroes right here. I had dreads, and I know how Negroes dreads look. They don't look the same as anybody over. They found dreadlocks everywhere. Look, all of them was rocking dreads, right? See that? See that? Check this out. See that? More dread. See that? It's called the Chuchilla. I got a video on this. So anybody interested, just go on my channel, you'll see the video. And look, see this? The Chuchilla mummies. Look. More dreadlocks, alright? Now look, not to mention this too, right? Look. Look, you see this? Peru. This is John Oberly work right here. This is what the people looked like in Peru. Look, they don't look nothing like no Mongoloid. Now remember, this is way before any Olmec civilization. Okay, because he did say that the only reason why in America the Olmecs was the first civilization. No, they just said the Peru was the first civilization, and in fact, Peru is older than Egypt. And then also what he said was that the Egyptian period, the Egyptians and the Olmecs was thriving at the same time. No, Egypt, the Egyptian pyramids is at least almost about 1,500 years older than the fucking Olmec, because of the Olmecs. Look, let's go back here. And it's just, I mean, the numbers going to change. I'm not saying these numbers is definitely, but it'll at least give us around the area of what we're looking for. All right, boom, right here. All right, we got Mexico. So we got Egypt right here at 3000 BC, and the Olmecs is at 12,000 BC. So this 1,800 years before any Olmec civilization. He said at the same time the Olmecs and the Egyptians was rocking at the same time. He said that the Native Americans came over here on the Bering Strait. Smithsonian Institute. Now understand, he said first the Mongoloids came here. He said, and then the second wave was the Australians. Now right here it tells you right here, okay? And remember, this is a 12,000-year-old skeleton in which they calling a Negro. All right, so we already went over this. That's way before any Olmec civilization or anything. And I honestly believe, me personally, I believe that the skull is older than 12,000 years old. Because after I read that, after I refreshed my memory with that Forbidden Archaeology by Michael Cremore and started reading it, like I said, he said they found people in California that dates back to 300 million years old. Now they talking about a hominid in Africa at 3.7 and then Lucy at 2.5. Come on, bro. Now, if that's true, but why would an anthropologist I guess he's an anthropologist let me see something. Let me see if we can pull him up. I think it's this one, right? Now, it's just for anybody who want to challenge. All right, now we read through this already. I'm gonna go down. This one right here. It said California, they were digging in the mine, they found human remains or whatever. It's saying that, it said according to modern geographical reports, the rock in which the miners found the bones and the artifacts at the Table Mountain is 50 million years old. And this is before any freaking Africa. And then understand this too. Let me show y'all something. Where's the one in Illinois? We already went through this, y'all. Y'all already know we already went through this. We already got a video on this. We already touched on this. This is when you're talking about it right here. The geologist. I want to find the Illinois. Here you go, right here. I believe this one. All right, so boom. It say let us consider an interesting report from Morrisville. Time, a newspaper published in the little town of Morrisville, Illinois. It say in the year of 1892. Now that's 1892. It say it tells a woman who was putting a big piece of coal into a coal burning stove. It say the piece of coal broke in half, and inside she found a beautiful gold chain 10 inches long. It say the two pieces of coal were still attached to the end of the chain, demonstrating that the chain has been solidified, embedded in the coal. It say from the newspaper report, we were able to determine the mine from which the coal came. It said, according to geological survey of the state of Illinois, the coal from that mine is about 300 million years old, the same age as the human skeleton found in the same state. All right, so now it's telling you, you go down here. It said, let's go back to scientific literature. It's in 1862. The scientific journal called The Geologist told a human skeleton found 90 feet below the surface of Macoupon County, Illinois. According to this report, there were a 2-foot thick layer of unbroken state rock directly above the skeleton. From the government geologist of the state, Illinois, I learned that the layers of the earth in which the skeleton was found are about 300 million years old. Now check this out. Let's read his bio and see who he is, because people who ain't got no credentials gonna be talking on this shit. People who ain't got no credentials gonna be talking on this shit. All right, so let me see. Let's look up Michael Cremore real quick, so we can just see some of his Let me see. All right, so Michael Cremore, born July 15, 1940, also known as a devotion named Drew Takama. I guess that's an Indian name here he picked up. It said it is an American freelance researcher who identified himself as a Vedic, that's how you pronounce it, creationist. It say an alternative archaeologist. It say and argue that humans have lived on the earth for millions of years. It say in case of the artifacts alleged found in whatever. They say, all right, the gravel from California. So they talking about the one we were just talking about that was supposed to be around 40 million years old. All right, so he's an archaeologist, say alternative archaeologist. All right, so like I said, man, and it's just a little FYI right here, just so you'll know. Another article I had up here. This article states this is the origin of where the word Africa came from. And as you read it, the people up here, the article basically rejected the word Africa. Even though they say they accept it, they said they don't know where the fuck the word came from. They said that the word, they just know that they just started calling them that towards the 1800s. All right, so now, I just want to go to one since we looking up dates, time, all that shit. All right, the Roman origin. All right, because they said Scipio the Africanus is the one who found them, right? Or the one who founded the Afar or Afri or Afik and all these other crazy names, and now they call Africa. All right, so they say Roman interest in Africa can be traced back to 3 Punic wars that ended in 146 BC. They say with Carthage, present day Tunisia. They say a city had gained significant success due to her interactions with the Phoenician was destroyed. All right, so it's saying right here. Let me see. It said the Roman used the name Afri Terra. It say which means the land of Afra. It say singular Afri. It say the name of the tribe that occupied the upper part of Africa. Let me get some water, y'all. Excuse me. Yeah, we already know. I don't even really feel like We can look the definition up in etymology online, and I'm going to end this video. Alright, so we already know, we just looked up the word aborigine. It's a first earlier existence from the beginning, especially in reference to the inhabitants of the land colonized by Europeans from aborigine. It's a the Pacific Australian sense is attested from 1820. They was not calling the people aborigines before 1820. Okay? But Samuel Moore, but we already know. Great, look these words up before. Most people already know. Most of y'all have seen this 100 times. What's that? 1858 state separate for Aborigines. 1540 Aboriginal is considered a correct singular English disguise. So it's a first inhabitants, okay? First inhabitants, like we've been saying for a decade. And the reason why I had to say something about that, because I got a lot of videos, and the title of my videos is Aborigines or whatever, and for him to say that the only reason that they was calling the people here Aborigines was because of the Australians, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Right here you go right here. We just read it. First inhabitants. Alright? Now some people say this is a form AB. They say off, away from. Say commencement, beginning, source, destined, lineage, birth. It say stand high. It say be born, be descended, receive life. Alright, it say extended in 1789 to natives of other countries. Okay? Now, we know before 1789 they was already calling us. It say extended 1789 to natives of other countries where Europeans have colonized. Okay? Alright, so we know the word Australian, they just told you when it was applied to the people in Australia, alright? So like I said, man, there's already people here. There's been people here. These people is lying about how old these structures that they find in the Americas are, and most people are fooled by it. And like I said, there is no freaking Africa. The people in Africa don't even agree with that term, and don't even agree that they're the same tribe of the people that they're around. But we know all tribes are not the same over there. But we know, understand this too. Nobody came from here, from Africa to here. It was always people here. And for people to tell you that people just migrated, that people was doing all this moving around before it was any trains, before it was any buses, and now understand this. You walk in an area where there's no food or where you can't catch no, like let's say if you migrate a couple of hundred of you or a couple of thousand of y'all, how y'all gonna eat every motherfucking night? So that migration, when people tell me, we saying people migrate, you gotta use your brain. Unless the whole world was plentiful with fruits and vegetables everywhere. Now, if you find evidence of that, okay, I will believe that. But that's not the fucking case. So if you travel somewhere like the so-called Native Americans across the Bering Strait, we know that the Eskimos, they eat fish, they eat stuff like that, right? But how you feeding millions of people or hundreds of thousands or thousands of people that's traveling in a group like that or whatever? There's no stores. So what is all these people eating on? Did they bring enough food with them? Did they have dry food? Like I said, the whole migration pattern is I believe that's bullshit. I believe people was already where they was at, or they was took there, but when the Europeans came, they started colonizing people. I understand this. We already know in the 1700s, they still had black queens and kings in Europe. Okay, now them people, so you thinking, okay, it was already white people then, and the black kings just came and took over. No, they was already living it. They was already in Europe. Okay? And like I said, man, it's a lot to this research, man, but do real research. Don't just because you pull up an article or because you read this or you say a bunch of genetic terms or whatever. And another thing he said get a DNA test. We already went over that DNA do not determine race. It's not going to tell you because understand this, Angel Ramirez, right? Look, a DNA test, right? I don't know, you haven't probably seen none of the videos I made, but if you don't know, there was Indian slavery there, right? Indian slavery outnumbered any so-called African, 9 to 1. All right. Well, out of 10, every nine of them was an Indian. All right. So, but if you don't know that the Indians were black already, then you know what I'm saying. But he already said they was black. He said that the only reason why it was black people here because of the Olmecs. But Luzia and Nayar is way older than any Olmec civilization. Okay? It's way older than any Olmec civilization, and we got anthropologists that's saying, why would this man sit here and lie and say that Luzia is a Negro? If he could easily say, well, no, this look like a Australian, and they got cranial types and everything. This don't look nothing like no freaking Australian.
Was this then the face of a first American?
It has all the features you associate with Negro features. The proportions of the face doesn't say anything about it being Mongol.
See? Now, none of these people mention, like, okay, the Smithsonian mentioned Australians or whatever, but other than that, these other articles I got, none of these people that's find these even the ones in West Indies, in the West Indies, they found skulls in Cuba, in what was it? Cuba, Guyana, and I believe it was in Jamaica. And they said all of them was Negro. Undoubtedly. But like I said, remember what they said. Peru is the second oldest civilization, okay? It's before Egypt. So the pyramids here in Peru are older than the pyramids in Egypt. And the pyramids in Peru is way older than the Olmec civilization. The Olmec civilization was 1200 BC. When you look, just in case you don't believe me, you see. Just in case you don't believe me. Let's go over. Look. The mysterious Olmec civilization located in ancient Mexico prospered pre-classical formative Mesoamerica. It's Mesoamerica. It's from 1200 BCE, before Common Era. It's to 400 BCE. So 1200 BC, like I told you. Now look. Peru is 3200 BC. That's 2,000 years before any Olmecs was even here. Okay? So now, what did he say? Let me just go back to the video just to clear that up.
Wavy, loose, curled hair. So I have to ask you, if you're an Aboriginal of America, why is your hair Afro-textured? As you'll all agree, you may have seen images of dark-skinned Native Americans and also Australian Aboriginals, but their hair has never been Afro-textured. Native Americans today can trace their ancestry to Eurasian migrants with Australasian ancestry, which adds tangible evidence and proof to the research and studies. So this would of course mean that there would have been darker-skinned Native Americans as well as lighter-skinned Native Americans based on these two groups. What I will say, if you believe you are an Aboriginal of the Americas, take a DNA test. It will show if you have Australasian or Eurasian ancestry as well as Native American ancestry. And if it comes back instead with countries from Africa, well, self-hate is a hell of a drug. But Self-love is an incredible cure. Also, the oldest bones and artifacts correlate with this information. Now, how do African people or black people fit into this migration? Are the so-called African Americans descendants of the dark-skinned, straight-haired Australian Aboriginals? No, the hair alone will tell you different. As I stated, Australian Aboriginals were created by Homo sapien and Denisovan DNA, as well as some Neanderthal DNA, hence why they look different to the black Papua New Guineans, who still look like African people. The teachings that Africans came before Columbus was not based on mass migration of huge numbers of African people to the Americas before these Eurasians and Australasian peoples. It was after this migration, but before Columbus discovered the Americas and the natives.
Alright, so what he just said was that the migration, he gonna say it was the Olmecs, right? But we got the article right here, my brother. And we got more articles, man. I can pull up articles. I got at least about 6-7 articles of cranial and skull finders in America, alright? Now, let's read this again. Smithsonian Institute. They say, but their lives are puzzled. Modern Native American. Why they using the word modern if they're the oldest people? Okay, closely resemble. This is why they don't call the Native Americans Aborigines, okay? They say modern Native Americans closely resemble the people of China, Peru, and Japan. But the oldest skeletons do not, say archaeologist and paleontologist James Chatter. Now we got another archaeologist, okay? No, actually we got three, because we did Michael Creemore, Richard Neves, and James Chatter. Okay, now it says a small number of early American specimens discovered so far have smaller and shorter faces and longer and narrower skulls than later Native Americans. So they using a distinctive. They saying then later. They telling you when the time when they came. It say more closely resembling the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Islands. Now, if all these people migrated, you would say, oh, well, they all African. But I reject that word Africa because I know that word Africa is not as old. It was just fairly used within the 1800s and it was applied to the white Africans in Africa and people don't even fucking know that. Okay? They was the ones calling themselves Africans. Like the people here call themselves Americans. They was calling themselves Africans over there and it was the white Europeans calling themselves that first. Okay? Wasn't no black person calling themselves African because they was tribes. Even before they even call themselves the name of the country, or even if them countries, you know, a lot of them names like Nigeria and all the countries didn't even exist. So how can you? So look, so how, you know, it's just confusing, man. Even with the DNA test, a lot of them countries didn't even exist or wasn't even at that time, but they can trace you down. Now, if they tell you if all people came from Africa, that means if us with the African DNA, if we was to test ourselves with everybody on the planet, we will come back positive with everybody if everybody came from Africa. But that's not fucking true. That's a fucking lie. And let's continue. All right, so it say Native Americans more closely resemble the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Islands. They say this has led to speculation that perhaps the first Americans and Native Americans. All right, so why ain't saying the first Native American? Okay, we get it. It say came from a different homeland. Okay, so I don't even need to go on no more. You know, y'all want to check this article out right here. I'm gonna put it in a link showing you that the Peruvian pyramids, shows you what the people they found, the Chinchilla mummies, I'm sorry. They had dreadlocks, and before people go ahead and say, well, oh, everybody wear dreadlocks, everybody wear all the hairstyles that black people wear, okay? And they don't wear them until they see them. You don't see you see few pictures with Native Americans with dreadlocks. You don't see no Native Americans today wearing dreadlocks, because that shit ain't in their DNA. But these are the mummies that they found in the pyramids in Peru, just to prove to you. I mean, you know, we got people who will say, well, just because they got dreadlocks doesn't mean that they black. Okay, I don't agree with that. Okay, because I know dreadlocks. I live around all these little niggas running around here with dreadlocks. Their hair look just like this. Their hair is not. No, I mean, you can just take a look at it yourself. You take a look at it yourself. So, you know, how long his country or his dread, how long the one that's inside that museum. See, they know damn well that they show that in the museum. People ain't nobody gonna claim this because the people, know none of these people hair even can lock up like this or even look like it has a texture like this. So, like I said, man, remember, oldest pyramids was in Peru. Okay, second oldest was found in America, according to what they were saying, in Brazil. Okay, that's the one that was made out of the shell or whatever. But nonetheless, either way, we see the numbers right here. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to clear that up about the Aborigines. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm trying to be respectful. I definitely trying to disrespect nobody because the brother, even in his video, he was very respectful. So, you know, definitely, man, hopefully he can learn something from this or whatever. And if you don't think he can learn something from me, there's other people out there. But, you know, like I said, man, people gotta start redefining and research, man. You can't keep showing pictures of these mongoloids and then having people believe that's what the people look like. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know, man. You know, like, look. They know. My computer, man, is worn out, man, from all this wear and tear, man. All these videos. Alright, this is Paraguay right here, okay? This is, if you want to know the source of it, just for anybody who come up here and look, this is John Overly Pictures. Look, they got afros in their hair, man. They got afros in their hair. This is Central America, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, they got afros. And these are Negro white. Alright? And just like I said, he said they made it was two waves of so-called Native Americans that came here. The first one was the Native Americans that came through the Bering Strait. Then he said the second was the Aborigines. The Smithsonian Institute saying that the first Americans was people who looked like either Africans, Australians, South Pacific Islanders. Now he even said that the Australians came second, but then he said that the Africans came last. But that doesn't make no sense because you got Naya, you got Luzia, you got the Broad woman, you got it's a lot of research. You got the ones that was found, the one Julian and Brookston, that article that was in the what was that? Oh, it was in the National Anthropology. It was in I think it was an acronym called MAN. It was the Monthly Anthropology newspaper or something like that. And it had the images of the skulls that they found in the West Indies. They found Cuba and everything. They saying that these dated back to at least 5,000 years. So, like I said, man, with that being said, man, we already know the research is out there. I just wanted to just correct that because I'm the one I use Aborigines a lot. And if somebody see that video and they're gonna be like, well, damn, yeah, you saying the Aborigines of Australia. You just seen that the word Aborigine wasn't applied to the Australians until it's just a random article, like I said. But just to show you one more time before I go, They say by the 1800s, however, the word was firmly established. Now remember, hold on, let me just show you what I'm reading from. So the meaning of the word aboriginal. Alright, so the word aborigine is usually used to refer to the original native people of the area before the arrival of invading, colonizing people from elsewhere. Okay, say the first known English use of the word aborigines was in the mid 1500s. Interestingly, the plural form of aborigine. All right, go to the second. All right, then it says by the 1600s, the word aborigine and aboriginal was first used in English. All right, it say later to describe first inhabitants. They will say describe plants and animals. All right, by the 1800s, however, these words were firmly established as a description for the original native people of Australia. So who was it applied to first? Who was it applied to first? Then we got this book here. We got somebody who just made a whole book on the Aborigine races. Samuel Morton, which was the fucking racist. But this book right here showed a lot. Alright, now the distinctive characteristics of the Aborigine race. Alright, Samuel Morton. Now you go down to page 5. I mean, it's a good read. We already done went over this months ago. Alright, so it say these right here. There you go, right here. It say these facts, however, are merely exceptional to the general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian. They say which is undeviatingly characteristics. Characteristics mean look like. They say as that of the Negro. They say for whether we see him in the athletic charib. They say or the stunted. They say the stunted chama. They say the dark Californians. All right. They say he is still an Indian and cannot be mistaken for any other race. All right. So he's saying that the characteristic is that of a Negro. But I guess he's trying to sway people to say he's not a Negro, maybe. But you got to check it out. Read the book. A couple people had the PDF. That was on the subscribe. A couple people sent it in or whatever. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. I even covered the Africa thing, and you know how people, like I said, people use that word and they know that the word African do not reflect. You know what I'm saying? Do not reflect. All right, and then people saying that. Look, check this out. Let me read a little bit of this right here. It say Africa, a great and problematic word. It say most people, including myself, frequently use the word African not only for the continent but also as a common denominator for more than 50 countries, 720 million people, and 1,000 languages. They say we say Africa. They say when we don't remember the names of the countries, as many people wrongfully believe there's a common language called African. They say we also use the term like African culture, African music, African religion. They say even though there is no single culture, music, or religion for all the countries or regions, they say a first step to understanding Africa, they say, is to acknowledge that it's consistent a huge number of religions, tribes, and groups of people with very different history. They say quite disturbing from our view. They say on Africa. They say and its history. African isn't even an African word. They say the origin of the word is still uncertain. They say, but it's critical to see the connection from Latin. I say Africa sunny. They say Greek aplik, mean not cold. The Roman was the first to use the name for them. It covered Tanzania, saying most. Saying most the northern part of Algeria and Liberia. They say they could have been inspired to use the name from some of the first people that met the continent. They say that where I far was the Berber tribe or cartilage area. We already read this, but this is just to give you an idea. They say that the word Africa is not even an African word. And they just told you right here, all these different cultures and shit in there, and that they just using that term. But we know right here, man. You know right here, bro. I said people don't do research like they say they do. They just Google search. Alright? So look. Say Old English, Africanus, native or inhabitant of Africa, okay? Go down here, boom. It say use of the white residents of Africa from 1815. It say, now check this out. Look at this. Watch this, y'all. It say use of the black residents of the U.S. It ain't gonna say the black residents of Africa because there's different cultures and they don't consider themselves to be black. But it says used of the black residents of the U.S. Our dumb ass is the only one saying we Africans, along with these Europeans that's in Africa. And they done brainwashed the Africans to say it too. It say from the 18th century. So they was only using this word right here. Now I'll tell you, I say when it especially meant one brought from Africa and sometimes was contrasted to native-born Negroes. Okay? It says, read it again. Okay? It say use of the residents of the U.S. No, I'm sorry, use of the black residents of the U.S. It say from 18th century when it especially meant one brought from Africa sometimes was contrasted to native-born Negroes. It's an adjective in 1560 pertaining to Africa or Africans. It say from 1722. All right, it say pertaining to black Americans. Okay, so we already know that this word African wasn't in existence. We already know that some European created this word and applied it to it. And also this word has a lot to do with the whole eugenics and all that other shit, because what they were trying to do was narrow the people down. They didn't want to tell you, with black people from all these continents. The original European was black. The original Chinese was black. The original American was black. The original African was black. The original fucking Antarctic motherfucker was black. You understand what I'm saying? So it goes on and on and on, and they know that. And the people in Europe, when they show you them kings and queens in Europe, they're not Africans. Them are motherfucking Europeans who was already there. But we under the spell, everybody migrated. But like I said, man, until you read this article right here, let's see what we I think I might have, but it's the Michael Cremore article. Like I said, until you read that, man, it's going to change everything that you think about what you think you know. You know what I'm saying? I think I closed it out. I'm not going to open it back up. You guys already seen that. I put them up there, Michael Cremore. You check them out. You read his work. You know what I'm saying? And you believe what you believe. I believe it. So, I mean, you believe what you believe. It's a reason why, like he said, his friend was ostracized for coming out saying that they found some tools, I believe, in South America that date back to 300,000 years. And when the lady gave the tool to her, I guess whoever the person that she checks in or she reports to, he said no. He said it's impossible. He said the oldest tool go back to 30,000 years. So he dated the tool at 20,000 years, even though that her studies in carbon dating or whatever method she used to derive the chronological time of that tool or of that item she found or whatever, he wouldn't accept it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It just go on and on and on. Everybody now, what people want to start doing is now saying, okay, yeah, we know it was black people here, but they still came from Africa. That's not true. That's not true. And like I said, if it was somebody here 300 million years ago, you can forget it, buddy. Your whole out of Africa theory is fucking, it's a shame. Along with this right here, along with this Peru being the second oldest civilization right here next to Egypt. Why don't nobody tell you that? Why don't nobody tell you that? Why don't nobody tell you that Peru is older than Egypt? Why don't nobody tell you that? Yeah, I know. Cricket. I'm out of here, man. Comment, like, subscribe.